with Somalia, but the jihadist group Al-Shabaab. Since then, Cuban authorities have given an account of steps for the return of the doctors, as well as contacts with their relatives. The Kenyan government also reported efforts for the same purpose. The Jamaican Parliament approved by consensus a resolution condemning the U.S. government's economic from the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party denounced the blockade as an act of unilateral aggression in violation of human rights and a transgression of the Cuban people's right to peace, development, and security. They also rejected the inclusion of Cuba on Washington's illegal list of state sponsors of terrorism. During the meeting, they heard samples of the effects of these genocidal policies' extraterritoriality on trade and financial relations between the two countries. In addition, lawmakers reiterated their appreciation to Cuba for its cooperation with Jamaica, the Caribbean, and other peoples of the world in various fields, including health and education. Quiñones attended the session of Parliament as a special guest. The meeting ratified the will of the Jamaican people to accompany Cuba in the battle to end the blockade that has affected Cuban families for over 60 years. Undersecretary of State for Western Hemisphere Affairs Brian Nichols acknowledged that after years of investigations, there is still no evidence that external actors caused the so-called Habana syndrome reported in recent years by over 1,100 U.S. diplomats and spies. Despite Cuba's adamant denials, the health incidents were used as pretext to strain relations between the two countries. According to an exclusive interview to a new 3-part series for Yahoo News Conspiracy podcast, the U.S. official admitted that no links had been found between the health incidents described by diplomats in the Cuban capital and the alleged attacks by a power. The remarks by Nichols, who oversees Cuba policy at the State Department, echo recent comments by CIA Director William Burns that the agency had not found any foreign actors to be responsible for a sustained global campaign on the scale of what has been reported to many U.S. officials, and that a majority of Havana syndrome cases would be attributed to alternative environmental and medical factors. Also speaking for the podcast was John Cohen, who served as acting assistant undersecretary of intelligence and an analyst at the Department of Homeland Security, who said that after analyzing the facts and reports, he never saw anything that was clear-cut that provided even an identification of who was doing it, or a definitive source for what was causing the symptoms. According to Yahoo News World Chief Investigative Correspondent Michael Isikoff, these claims are especially striking when the CIA and the State Department are preparing to pay compensation of $189,000 to each of the alleged victims under the Havana Act, a law passed by Congress and signed by President Biden. Cuba always denied the occurrence of any attacks whatsoever against any foreign diplomats. For the General Director of the Cuban Neurosciences Center, Mitchell Valdez-Sosa, the elimination of the Havana syndrome is absurd. Those who use the term seek to achieve a negative association and harm their relations between the two states. That's all for today's national news. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Catherine Lopez with our national news here on Radio Manitoba. Now it's time for the world news with that worldly guy, Gavin Jones.
According to the United Nations International Labour Organization, the ILO, the number of people trapped in forced labour or forced marriage